Hi, this is Ben Laing and welcome to Ben's Business Q&A. In a previous video, I talked about ways to get free and paid traffic. And in this video, I just want to talk about how to, once you've got that, this is now assuming that you have your target audience's attention, of people who are interested in what you have to offer. And I now want to talk about how to convert and monetize that traffic into money. So that was something a question I was asked after someone watched or listened to my previous podcast about getting traffic. It was, how do you convert the traffic into money? Which is a great question, and we all need to know this. So the first thing you should be asking, like when you're getting traffic, is where's this traffic coming from? So that's the question you should be asking. You can find that out through tools like Google Analytics, Facebook Pixels, which you can install a bit of code onto your website. Your web developer can do that, and you'll get data. You can get a monthly report from these tools, and they just track all the data where the source of traffic came from. So if it came from social media or search or like Google, and what we do is categorize traffic into two sort of categories. So you've got hot and cold traffic. So what you need to do with cold traffic, we'll talk about, is cold traffic are usually people who don't know who you are, who know very little about who you are. So if you're like just new, you're just starting out, the majority of your traffic and anyone that you bump into probably doesn't know who you are. So we class them as cold traffic. It's like when you pick up a phone and make a cold call, go through a phone book and pick a company that you want to sell your products or service to. That's cold calling, and that's why we call it cold traffic. So you've got to do a bit of work, a bit of persuasion, and explain why your product's better than your competition's or what the benefits of your product. You really do need to build up the relationship and trust at that stage. If it's someone who doesn't know any background about you, at first you need to educate them. So that's what cold traffic is. Hot traffic, basically one way of getting cold traffic to warm traffic is we need to warm them up and build that relationship, and that's how they turn to warmer hot traffic. So what is hot traffic, warm traffic? It's basically people who know about you. They could be previous customers or returning customers or returning visitors to your website. They follow all your content, they consume it all on social media, on your blog, and they're maybe subscribers. So these are people, maybe even people that have come from an affiliate link that was from a trusted source, so someone that they trust sent them over. So it's like if an authority mentions a book that's worth buying, like if Tim Ferriss mentions a book, I'll usually go and buy it because I trust his judgment on a good book. So it's looking at like where it's come from. If it's come from through an authority, they are much warmer leads than the cold traffic where they've come out of nowhere, they've stumbled upon you through searching. So it's much easier to persuade them, or you don't need to do much persuading. They've been a bit of a follower for a while, so that's what we call hot traffic. And the next thing I wanted to explain is that we need to create a desire as the next step when you actually have that attention. So this is assuming you've got that attention. We need to now create desire, and this is going back to the sort of marketing fundamentals of AIDA. A for attention, so you've got their attention. I for interest, you've got their attention and interest. And now it's D for desire and A for action. So that's the AIDA of marketing, AIDA. So it's worth writing down. It's kind of a great way to think about your marketing as you go about it. So if we've got the people on our website, or you've got a bit of engagement going through your email newsletter or your social media campaign, you're getting a bit of like contact, you're maybe getting people calling in, or you're getting emails in. The next step is obviously what we want to talk about, converting that into money, into a sale. So how do we do that? We need to create desire. So we're going to focus on D of the AIDA. D for desire. We need to create desire, and to create desire, what you need to do is learn a wee bit about copywriting. And there's a great book on copywriting called Words That Sell, and this has got lots of advertising tools to get attention, but it's also got a wee sort of mini crash course on copywriting, which is really good. It talks about all the concepts of copywriting. Copywriting is a way of, well, first thing is to get their attention, and then once you've got your attention, it's creating desire for buying your product, and maybe even urgency, and using social proof, a bit of everything to persuade them to your side, influence them towards maybe getting closer to moving them to a customer, making a sale. One thing we could do with copywriting is offer something for free, make it almost remove the risk. It's like when you order a Domino's pizza, they had a unbeatable offer or guarantee that if it wasn't warm when it got to your door in under 30 minutes, you wouldn't pay for your pizza. That idea, so you remove the risk, you guarantee them results for your, like if it's a marketing service, you guarantee them a return on their invest, and that's the kind of thing you want to do, is almost wipe out any of the objections beforehand, before they come up. That you remove all of them and focus on giving them the benefits of why they need to go for you. The time's running out, that's called scarcity, and it talks about that in this book here, which is Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. It's a great book for understanding the human psychology of how sales sales actually happen. So at that stage, these are two very important books. That's Words That Sell by Richard Byon, and Influence by Robert Cialdini. So the next step after you've read these, learned a wee bit about copywriting, that's creating the desire, getting them to want your product and want your service. The next thing you need to do is, going back to the AIDA, is we need to get them to take action. So you've got their interest, or you've got their attention, you've got their interest, you've got a desire, you've created the desire for them to want your product. Maybe it's like a couple of other objections towards buying it. You need to kind of remove them, figure out why they're resistant, and remove the resistance and get them to take action. So one way is if they've maybe showed an interest by opting in, you've got them on your newsletter. Every so often you give them value in your newsletter, just like I talk about in social media, the jab, right hook concept in Gary Vaynerchuk's book, jab, right hook, which just means give, then ask and go for the sale. So you need to build up an email list and use that for the jabbing and the right hooking. What you then need to do is kind of push for the sale, go for the close, remove all those objections or the resistance, and follow up and remind them about you. Ask them, like maybe they landed on a squeeze page, and what a squeeze page is, it gives them an option to either go ahead and buy your product, so you have an actual buy button, a PayPal button, and that's one way to make sure you've got a payment section right there, or they've got book a meeting, so you get them to meet you. You can call, if you collect their phone number and their email, you can call them or you can follow up with them via email. So just remind them about like that opt-in, because they made the first contact with you. They've now started the conversation. They gave permission to you to get in touch with them. So now you can not bombard them, but you can now mention that they showed interest in this, and you're wondering if they're interested in this new product you've just launched, or this service that you offer. Like I'll mention my web design service, or coaching service, or marketing services. So it's up to you, once you've got them on your list, and you've seen people who are interested, to collect their data, their phone number and email, and stay in touch with them, and then every so often remind them about what your services are and how you can help them, and focus on the benefits. That's going back to the desire. So a squeeze page, what I was saying there, is it gives them a video, for example, on a one-page website. So you pay for an advert, you send them, rather to your homepage, you send them to this one-page website, and that has like a sales video, so a video that goes through all the benefits, features and benefits. It then talks about, like, or has some video testimonials of previous customers who have been successful as a result of your product or service. It's got more benefits, and then it's got a final call to action offer ends in 2 days. So you have this video on the website, maybe some sales copy once you've learned your copywriting, and then it has a buy or a book now button, or a contact form to give to move to the next step. So that's what a call to action is really a simple squeeze page which has that information, has no other links to anywhere else, so they can't be distracted on a squeeze page. It's also what we call a landing page, but squeeze page is really focusing on squeezing that information out of them, or squeezing the sale out of them, or they can go home or they can click back. You don't really want them to be distracted by anything else at that stage. That's when you want them to move to the next step and take action. So a clear call to action. I hope you found that helpful. Thanks for watching.